If you're someone that's been looking for multifamily, multi-unit properties in the Northern Kentucky area, you're going to want to stick around because it's exactly what we're going to dive into and talk about today. So is it a good time to buy multifamily properties? Is it a bad time? Have prices gone up? Have they gone down? That's what we're going to be looking at today, and make sure to stick around to the end because we're also going to be looking at some active properties that are for sale in the market, multifamily, right now. Hey guys, it's Cameron with the Barron's team, your Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati real estate agents. And if you find this type of information helpful, make sure to hit the thumbs up button and click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future content. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, building, investing, or relocating in the next 6 days, 6 months, or longer, reach out to the Barron's team today. I'll put our contact information on the screen here and the details below. We're happy to help answer any questions, big or small. With that said, let's get into the video. All right, so something that'll help us get a good gauge of what to expect in the 2025 multifamily market here in Northern Kentucky is looking back at what just happened in 2024. So in 2024, we had 127 multifamily properties that actually closed. And just to clarify, when I say multifamily, that is 2, 3, or 4 unit properties according to our MLS. So 127, out of those 127, the average sales price was $306,694. And the median was $260,000. The big discrepancy there is probably a few or a handful of the higher end ones, maybe larger ones, maybe completely renovated in a more desirable area. And that kind of skews the average, brings it up a little bit. But the median across the middle, we're looking at $260,000. Another piece of information here that I think is really beneficial, especially if you're a seller. Definitely if you're a buyer, because this helps you understand maybe where to come in with what's realistic with your offers. But if you're a seller or multifamily investor, this is really important to understand. The original sales price, or the original list price to the actual sales price. So where the property was listed at versus where it actually sold at. So if you sold your multifamily property, or if you bought your multifamily property in the first 30 days, on average, you were about 96%. So you were getting 96% some change there of list to sales price. So that goes to show, hey, if you're a buyer, I'm not saying that this property is going to sell for 96%, but in the first 30 days, statistically, they are. So it may mean that if you're trying to come in really low, you can still throw in that low ball offer, but have the expectations that it's probably going to take some time with sitting on the market for that seller to want to come down that low. And this is the part to me that is really interesting and really telling. That's the first over here, the first 0 to 30 days. Then we jump into the next bracket here of 31 to 60 days, and it drops all the way down to 83% of list to original sales price. Now, some of that is probably because they were sitting on the market and they did some price reductions. It could be because they're getting a little more motivated. But then if you look over at the 61 to 90 days, it drops down to 77. Then we get a little tick back up at 86. Again, that could have been an anomaly, something that sold in that price range, the days on market that increased to that. But then it's back down to about 83, 84%. So what this is showing us, it doesn't matter if we're looking at 31 to 60 days or 121 plus days on market. Once you get out of that first 30 days, or the property that you're looking at, the multifamily property, once it gets out of those first 30 days, there seems to be a large discrepancy from their original list price to what they actually sell it for. So that's maybe where that sweet spot could come in. If you're a buyer, hey, maybe, if it's something that you don't have to have, you're just trying to get the most bang for your buck, maybe you just wait and see if these properties sit on the market for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you have a better chance of getting a bargain. If you're a multifamily owner watching this and you're trying to sell your property, to me, this shows that you might be taking a big hit on what you think you're going to actually get, or you probably want to price smart or accordingly to make sure that you're not sitting on the market this long, because the longer they sit, it seems like the less that they're getting. All right, I did mention that I was going to go over some active multifamily properties right now in the Northern Kentucky market, but one last thing I wanted to go over before we did that was what is currently sold and under contract year to date in 2025. So we have 10 that have sold this year. Again, they could have gone under contract in December, November, but regardless, they closed in 2025, and then ones that have gone under contract or are currently under contract. So that's 29 total, 10 closings, 19 under contract. And if we take a look at this, I want to show you the map here. As you can see, there are a couple stragglers down here, There are a couple ones that are on the outskirts, probably more appropriate to say. And then there are a few in the Florence Erlanger area, but the vast majority of multifamily homes that have sold or closed in 2025 or under contract are in the River Cities areas like Covington, Newport, maybe Dayton area, Ludlow. This is where the majority of these are right now. So it would make sense when you do see ones that come up, if you're like, yeah, I want one in the, Florence Erlanger area. Well, there hasn't been as many. If you're like, I want one in Grant County, there are barely any, but there are more options here. So depending on where you are willing to look or willing to expand your search, or if you're like, nope, I'm not willing to, just understand that when one of these come on the market, you may have to jump on it more quickly. If I put this in a list view here and we look at days on market, let's go to cumulative days on market and went at that backwards, but that's all right. We'll scroll down at the bottom here. If we look at this one in Covington, 0 days, this one in Covington, 0 days, this one in Ellesmere, 1 day, Covington, 1 day, Fort Thomas, 2 days, Covington. You can see that some of them are still going pretty quickly. Florence, 9 days, Erlanger, 27 days, but then the ones at the higher end here, Covington, Newport, Falmouth, that's a little ways out compared to most of these. Newport, kind of across the board, but generally speaking, the ones that are going to be in Florence, Erlanger, things like that are typically going to go a little more quickly. Reason being, there just aren't as many. So then let's toggle things here to only active. This is the more shocking one. Right now, as me filming this video, we have 11 multifamily properties active for sale in our MLS. And if I zoom out really far here, here's the border for those that are unfamiliar with the area, the Ohio River there. We have one in Maysville, and then the rest are right here in the 275 Loop, Covington-ish area. And we can look at we'll look at a list view here and give you an idea. So let's do days on market, and we'll start with the most recent one. So right now, 11 days on market in Covington, 520,000. Let's see what else we have here. This one's 16 days on market. That's the Maysville one. 19 days on market. 80 days, 95 days, 119, 133, and then so on and so forth here, and one that's been on the market for about 342 days. If we look at details, what are you getting with these ones that are currently active? The one that's most recent, that is on Scott Street, 520,000. It's a 2-unit. And what does it look like on the inside? I'd imagine this is going to look pretty nice considering it's at 512,000. Probably very HGTV-ish, which, of course, yes, it is. You've got some exposed brick, hardwood, looks like granite countertops. So this one's pretty much turnkey, ready to go. So that's when I say some of the higher end ones that are skewing the average and median, or skewing the average, and that's why I've been looking at the median, is because this one's, it's turnkey, it's ready to go. This is going to be for someone that's maybe not looking for as much of like bang for your buck, but I want something that's already moving ready and I don't have to do the work, which again, you can tell from the outside, it's a beautiful property. We've got another one in Dayton here. So this one at about 275,000. This is a 2 units, looks like two bedroom units. This one as well, actually, from the pictures, looks like a pretty clean, well taken care of unit. Got the upstairs, downstairs, separated units. And then let's look at one maybe on the higher end here as well, 875. This is in a very desirable location. This is, again, one that throws off the average, not necessarily in a bad way, but this is one that is right downtown by Newport on the levee. I mean, clearly this property is a beautiful multifamily property, which speaks to the higher price. But these are kind of the ones that just sometimes take longer because not as many people can even afford these. It doesn't mean it's a bad property, just takes a little longer. And then if you want something even more affordable, this one doesn't have any pictures, but 175. What do we have here? We have 2 units. 2-unit property right here. So that could be someone, if you're just wanting something on the lower end price point, That would be a potentially good one to look at. Here's another one at 215, more affordable, 2 units. One's a 1 bedroom, one's a 2 bedroom at 215. So these are examples of ones that are actively for sale on the market right now in the Northern Kentucky area. But as I mentioned, they are the ones that are hitting the market are typically going pretty quickly if they are priced right, turnkey, more move-in ready for tenants. So that's why it's good to keep an eye out, because it could be discouraging seeing, oh wow, only 11 on the market right now. But you saw that there are 10 that have closed and 19 pending. So that means there are some hitting the market. They're just going under contract.
All right, I hope you found this information helpful. And if you have any questions or something that you want to see in the next video, please make sure to put it in the comments below. And as always, whether your next real estate transaction is 6 days, 6 months, or even 6 years from now, if you have a question, reach out to the Barron's team today. We are always happy to help. I have our contact information on the screen here, and even more ways you can reach out to us in the details below. And I look forward to talking to you all in the next video.